Some places in the realms have nobles, and almost every inhabited place in the realms has wannabe nobles, wealthy families who want the status of nobility. They crave power and the trappings of power because they think they're special. Not just a problem in fictional settings, you may notice. This time together, I'd like to tell you about a wealthy family of Neverwinter, House Cyl, spelled C-Y-L and pronounced Cyl as in windowsill. Wealthy shippers, dockside warehouse owners, and ship owners for 6 generations back. They began as wannabe nobles, but around 1346 DR or so were finally accorded the local status and titles of nobility. Not that they've ever been locally popular. Not like, say, House Neverember. Why? Well, they're darkly handsome, they sneer at everyone else a lot, and then there are the Tentacles. The Tentacles? Oh yes. Local legend warns that if you wind up alone with any mature member of House Cyl and they don't like you, their tentacles will come out of their backsides, some tales say, out of their ears and mouths and noses, others insist, armpits, some tale-tellers even go for. However, Elminster stepped in at this point to furnish something he dryly called the truth. So here it is. Certain House Cyl members can emit 4 purplish-black, glistening with slime and saliva, tentacles from the insides of their mouths that can extend up to 7 feet, are about as big around as their own thumbs, and that stab into the ears, noses, and mouths of foes, stinging and injecting a toxin that stuns, as in the stunned condition, for a few minutes, though that's certainly long enough for a victim to have their throat slit, or to be robbed, or to be dragged into a pool or pond and held under to drown, or just shoved out a window or off a high balcony. That's all a Cyl can do to you. They may carry illicit tadpoles in their brains that make them the thralls of mind flayers who dwell unseen in the darker, secret rooms of their castle mansion in Neverwinter, so they'll attack individuals their mind flayer master wants harmed, steal things at the behest of that master, and kidnap certain luckless folk and bring them before the mind flayer for worse treatment. But all they can do to you directly is this sting stuff. This power and property is due to the Cyls being in thrall to mind flayers for generations. Generations in which they have flourished, rising from struggling sea merchants to their current status, largely as a result of the guidance of these same mind flayers. Right now, according to Elminster, an Illithid named Ithcahil leads 2 younger, lesser mind flayer, future successors, an heir and a spare, who alone survived out of its last spawning, Kiathind and Ixla. Ixla is a bit of a sneak, a whimsical and lazy but ambitious Illithid. Kiathind is a perfect servant or assistant, and Ithcahil is an unusually patient and easygoing mind flayer who's quite content to have House Neverember get all the publicity and ire and status as targets, while House Cyl lurks in the background, benefiting from policies and deeds of the Neverembers as they lead Neverwinter in their usual unsubtle, throw-their-weight-around fashion. What plans Ithcahil is pursuing are best learned from Ithcahil. Elminster neither knows nor cares, as he has more pressing problems to deal with. To him, Ithcahil ranks below Zastam and Vecna as troublesome, and Zastam and Vecna well beneath Larlock, and others whom we'll discuss some other time. However, if Ithcahil ever stirs into anything bold, House Cyl will be his mind-controlled human agents, so best watch them for signs of such boldness. Although the real head of House Cyl is the illicit Ithcahil, their current matriarch is High Lady Neverwinter Cyl, a coldly, haughty, raven-haired beauty who holds grudges, always gets more than even, and spends her days eating sweets, drinking gallons of green Seldaskan mint wine, and spending the family wealth on gown after new gown that display her long legs and magnificent bosom, in which nestle several pet snakes, who have the habit of rearing up out of the warmth for a look around at opportune moments during feasts and revels. Oliveira is the daughter of Bardaskos, the older brother by a year of the only member of House Cyl the wider realms has likely heard of, Anali Cyl, who defied her parents to take up an heirloom of the family, a falchion named Decision, and leave the family home forever to lead the forces of Neverwinter in war against Luskan in 1372 DR.
So Ed, I'm wondering, do you think people are getting tired of us interrupting their Realms Lore videos to ask them to become patrons?
Well, yeah, likely, but you know, there's nothing else we can do. I no longer have the figure for other platforms.
If you're enjoying the content on this channel and you want to consider supporting it, as well as directly supporting Ed the man himself so he doesn't have to open up various other accounts, please consider becoming a protector of the realms by heading on over to patreon.com/EdGreenwood. You can get uncut early access to all these videos as well as other really cool exclusive content, or if you want to support Ed another way, you can also head to the official Ed Greenwood shop where you can get official Ed Greenwood adventuring gear and merch. Lots of really cool stuff there, and again, it helps us bring you the best content possible on this platform. So yeah, we hope you enjoy the rest of this Realms Lore video.
Thank you. Anali is remembered as a famous general, though her official title was Neverblade, one of three, and the only woman. The naval Neverblade was lost at sea. The other land leader fell in battle, but Anali survived the war. Ironically, she'd broken with her parents over their decision to marry her off to Waterdavian nobility and so send her to safety as war broke out. But after the war, she went off to Waterdeep to meet and make up her own mind about the husband they'd chosen for her. According to Elminster, she didn't think much of him, and soon left Waterdeep for points east, heading for the Sea of Fallen Stars with Decision riding ready on her hip, where she disappears from the histories sages pen and bards sing of. Bardaskos was the son of Lord Mahalander and Lady Norara Cyl, who did not survive the spell plague. The roof of a new wing of the mansion they built with magical aid collapsed on them. Bardaskos was also a strong-willed, creative man who all his life subtly sought to win free of Mind Flayer control by amassing magic items and potions enough to defy them. In this, he failed, but the potions he did surreptitiously swig won him more decades of life than most enjoy. Born in 1348 DR, he didn't perish of winter chill fever until 1469 DR, outliving 4 wives and the treacheries of 2 sets of children, whom he had killed by hired Luskan assassins as a result. Oliveira, born in 1466 DR, is the eldest of his third and final trio of children, born to the last wife of Bardaskos, Oliveira, and is the last survivor of the 3 children. She married a successful merchant fleet owner from Baldur's Gate, Gelin Helflond, and bore him 2 sons, Faralthos and Beleriand, ere he drowned at sea in 1491 DR. High Lord Faralthos, born in 1487 DR, resents being controlled by Iskahil and the Tormentors, as he refers to the 2 younger Mind Flayers, and by his mother Oliveira, but sees no way out from under their quiet tyranny. He wed Talassa Emerdrund of Askatla, the heiress to a huge banking and city real estate landlording fortune in that city in 1496 DR, and they have 2 infant sons, Scaladros, born 1497, and Omert, born 1498. Lord Beleriand Cyl is the usual nasty, conniving, bored, and resentful younger brother, and when he isn't backing shady thieving and smuggling endeavors in Neverwinter, he's wenching his way up and down the Sword Coast port cities. Any unscrupulous adventurers the Neverwinters and the darker cabals of Luskan don't hire, he does. There's one last item of interest about House Cyl. Long ago, they came to Neverwinter from Halrua, and they've retained a custom of that mysterious land of magecraft. They secretly breed behirs in a cavern network under the foothills northeast of Neverwinter that rise into Mount Hotanal, where they also keep treasure and food and a safe house refuge with behir guardians. So if behir breeding is becoming a lost art in Halrua, it's being kept alive nigh Neverwinter Wood. House Cyl makes a lot of surreptitious money selling behir horns, talons, teeth, and scales in Waterdeep via Lord Beleriand, who remits less than half of what he makes to the family coffers, something Feralthos hasn't decided how to deal with yet. Perhaps the tormentors can serve to give Beleriand a lesson he'll remember. So, beware House Cyl. Their tentacles may not have the reach or power some tales give them, but they're very real.
Turn on your lila. Turn on your lila.
Oh, that's what I kicked out. It was the power to the damn power to the camera 2. That's okay. Got it happening.
Is that why camera 2's leg is right on the very edge of the table?
No, that's just me having poor judgment.
I'm staring straight into camera 1 for your electation and pleasure.
Chape.
I am patting my lavalier like a good little boy.
Your hair's fine.
Hail and well met. We're getting there.
Hey, Raj, stay awake. This is important stuff.
This
It's your close-up.
is your career, Roger. There's money on the line here.
Roger goes,
Yeah, I know. I might disturb you if you weren't completely done. All right.